Well, here we are. Bryan Kohberger has now pled guilty, taken a plea deal to 4 counts of murder in the first degree and 1 count of robbery. Does it give the actual justice to the families, of those who lost a child that day? No. No, and we did hear from 3 of the 4 families who spoke out and said that they didn't want this plea deal, that they wanted the death penalty. But above all, every single member of the extended family and friends of those who lost one of those college students that day want one thing and one thing only. They want to know why. Why did Bryan Kohberger do this? Why did Bryan pick these students of all the students that he could have picked? He could have had easier access to, college students that were right there in his own apartment complex. He could have had easier access to students that were right there on his own college campus. He didn't need to drive the 17 miles to Moscow, Idaho, and pick these students of all students to target. Now, it's a fact in this case that Bryan Kohberger was there at the location at least 12 times prior to the night of he attacked these college students and killed them. That's a fact. But why? Why is going to be the question that we will debate forever. With the plea deal that Bryan Kohberger has entered into, he has only 2 avenues to an appeal. Just like other high-profile cases, as Christopher Watts in Colorado, 2 avenues to an appeal. And that's it. There are no more than just those. And those 2 avenues to appeal are pretty simple to understand. 1, the first avenue to appeal for Bryan Kohberger is ineffective counsel. During the case and the actual appeal process, saying that they did not aid in his defense to get the best deal they could possibly get. That's his first avenue to appeal. The second avenue to appeal is a grievous error by the court. That the court made some type of grievous error, not in what led up to the appeal, but only in the process itself of sentencing, where they're going to send him, his security level, something along those lines. Not what led up to it. Again, only in the actual part where he took the plea. If a grievous error happens in that part, then he can appeal that. Right now, there is no issues at all in his defense or in the court's part. He took the plea, again, just like Christopher Watts, when they took the death penalty off of the table. Those are his only avenues to an appeal. You can all bet your last dollar that in the coming months, we will see people start GoFundMes, Reddit pages, Facebook pages, and YouTube channels advocating for Bryan Kohberger, saying that he is innocent and that he needs to get a new attorney and start raising money for his defense. This is going to happen, just like in every other high-profile case that we have seen, yes, and including Christopher Watts. People will start to rally around behind him for getting the victims, rallying around the defender again and again and again and again. It's sickening that it happens in our society and that people are allowed to do this. Bryan's guilty. But the number one question, again, that you have to ask, and every single member of the families, that are surviving and their friends is why. Why did he do it? What made him go from a PhD student to a homicidal maniac? What did it? Where were the signs? Are there any signs out there that we can learn from so we can prevent the next one? What made him go from a quiet, shy college student to a murderer? We may never know the answer to that. And even if Bryan was to speak up tomorrow and tell us exactly why he did it, we shouldn't believe him. Because just like so many other high-profile cases, and yes, again, I hate to draw the conclusion to Christopher Watts, but they're pathological liars. They're going to do whatever they can to mitigate their own guilt in the case that they were, convicted in. So, again, it's a little bit of closure. It's not final justice. Final justice for Bryan Kohberger and for Christopher Watts will be paid in dividend after they're gone from this earth in the afterlife. There's a special place in hell for both of them. And they will burn and burn and burn for an eternity for what they've done.